Camera's crooked. What if I just... Perfect. This video is sponsored by Vernal. Earlier this year, I had to say goodbye to my desk setup of 4 years. It was really tough because I invested so much time and money into it. And having to tear it all down, it was kind of depressing. Thankfully, I have a new and improved desk setup that I want to share with you guys. This is David, your casual nerd. Let's go ahead and check it out. Since I knew I was starting from scratch, I really wanted to extend my desk space. In the previous setup, I already had a 72-inch desk. That was already plenty of real estate, but I was aiming for something different this year. That's where Vernal came in clutch and sent me over their walnut L-shaped desk. The setup time was about an hour and a half, and that was just me taking my time to make sure everything was set up correctly. Got it? Oh yeah. I opted for the integrated drawer that just installs into the desk with a few screw holes. Everything's already pre-drilled for the installation. I also opted for wheels because I am not trying to break my back. One of my biggest concerns with the desk was the weight capacity. Due to the desk having 3 motors, it has a weight capacity of 350 pounds. Getting the desk to wobble in any kind of major way was really difficult. It was mainly the monitors moving. I feel pretty safe about this. Not to mention there's an anti-collision system. Safe to say that it worked. And I did test it a couple times for safe measure. The height adjustable range is 26 inches up to 49.6 inches. And we have 3 memory key slots, perfect for a low, medium, and high setting. And I also like when you're raising or lowering the desk, it starts off slow and then gains speed, about 1.5 inches per second. The desk is perfect and it's exactly what I was looking for. Something to split up my 2 setups, gaming and productivity. I also added the Vernal file cabinet and the side cabinet. It was about time that I got rid of my Alex drawer. That thing was starting to look a little suspect. I got the tall version of the file cabinet. It came with the lockable casters, and it even includes a key lock for added security and peace of mind on the bottom drawer. Now the side cabinet was a lot shorter, so it could actually fit under the desk. Instead of doing that though, I put this really cool mini fridge on top just to keep a couple of drinks on the standby. And the side cabinet also does feature that locking drawer. Both of the cabinets come in the same matching color as the desk. This makes me really happy because I don't have to worry about mismatching colors. The desk selection was super important this year, and I'm so glad that I found the Vernal desk. I understand this video is sponsored by them, but I am genuinely in love with this product. It's not changing anytime soon. Prices start at $389, and you guys can use the exclusive code YTST to get an extra 6% off your order. In my previous setup, I had a really hard time separating the gaming from the productivity since everything was on one monitor. It was just way too easy to switch over to gaming when I really should have been editing or doing something more productive. And when I knew I had to move, I for sure wanted to get an L-shaped desk because I had this vision planned for a long time. So let me show you guys my solution. The hardest choice of the gaming setup was the monitor. I knew I wanted to go OLED, but do I go with the WOLED with a matte screen? The QD OLED with a glossy one? How many frames? 1440p resolution? Or do I go 4K? My answer came when I attended CES 2025. After seeing everybody's OLED offerings, my answer was the ASUS PG32 UCD-M. It's a 4K 240Hz QD OLED, and I also got the matching monitor arm. The reason why I did go with this monitor is because of those crazy looking colors. Seeing the WOLED and its matte screen, you lose a lot of that contrast that OLED brings to the game. With the QD OLED, you gain the glossy screens, so there isn't any kind of grainy filter over it. But it is Reflection City, so if you decide to go with something like this, just be aware of that. Next, I want to talk about the new speakers for the gaming setup. Since the monitor doesn't have any inbuilt speakers, these are the Edifier Q65 speakers. Why did I choose these? It's really simple, you guys. They just look incredible. The speakers have a 30 32mm driver for treble, and a 70mm driver for the mid and low. All of your controls are on the right side: volume, power, and lighting controls. It also has GAN charger capabilities. This comes in handy whenever you need to charge anything at a decent speed. The sound quality is really good. These aren't studio monitors, and they're not meant to be studio monitors. They're desktop speakers with high quality sound, and they're just fun to use. I will say they do lack in the lows, so adding a sub onto this would be a perfect match. For the times where I don't want to use the speakers and I want to use the mic to chat with my party, the headset I've been using is the Razer Barracuda X Chroma. It's a really solid headset with 40mm drivers, 50 hours of battery life, a pretty decent mic for the price. Hello, testing 1 2 3. This is the Razer Barracuda X Chroma mic test. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. And of course, Razer's Chroma lighting. It's perfect for playing any kind of single player game and really good for playing multiplayer games like Marvel Rivals. Next, let's talk about the keyboard. The one I've been using for a while is the Gravistar K1 Pro. If you were to make Cyberpunk into a keyboard, this would be it. We have these claw risers that adjust the height, this volume rocker that can also mute audio, Kale switches with 45 grams to actuate, an 8000 mAh battery if you want to use this with Bluetooth or with the receiver. Also, the build of this keyboard is really solid. I found it to be pretty light but also heavy at the same time. And so many other features that I just can't get into in this video. The mouse that I'm using is the Razer Viper Mini Special Edition. Really the best mouse that Razer has ever made. 8K polling, super light, and just an overall beast of a mouse whenever you're gaming. If they could take this design into the regular Viper without adding too much weight, I think it would be the perfect mouse. And as for the accessories, I have the Razer USB 4 dock. This adds some front I/O for easy access whenever I need to plug in a mouse or charge my keyboard. It gives me plenty of ports, and the USB 4 speeds are top notch. And my last accessory is the Divoom Timescape. I've seen these on Instagram on so many pages, and I see why because of the added utility. You can customize this in their app, and you have a super wide selection of options. My favorite is the YouTube subscriber counter, and also this utility that monitors your usage for your GPU and CPU. The Timescape is a really cool accessory that I didn't expect to have on my desk, but I'm glad it's there. Last but not least is my PC. The case is the H9 Elite from NZXT. It perfectly displays all of my PC parts. The motherboard is an ASUS ROG Strix X570, a Ryzen 5900X, 32 gigs of RAM, and a 3080 Ti Founders Edition. The PC really does serve me well, even though it's a couple of generations old. I do want to upgrade this year, but the scalper prices of everything is just really depressing. And that's the gaming setup for this year. Honestly, it's the most exciting part of my setup, but equally as important is my productivity setup. So with this one, I basically took my old setup from my old apartment and recreated it here. Everything is almost exactly the same. The monitor, which is the LG 38WN95C, it's an ultra-wide monitor with a ton of real estate for editing, and it runs at 144 Hz. Next is the brains of the operation, and that's my M1 Max 16-inch MacBook Pro. Everything is fully maxed out, minus the SSD drive. Still an amazing laptop and no signs of slowing down. The keyboard I'm using is the Keychron Q3 Pro. Why I chose this is because it has every single function I would need for the Mac. The dial, the customizable macro pads, and the Mac optimized shortcuts. I also spent about 4 hours customizing and lubing the switches, so it's buttery smooth and sounds amazing. Lastly, the mouse that I'm using is the Logitech G502 X Plus. Why I still continue to choose this mouse is the feel and the ergonomics are close to the MX Master 3, but it has the responsiveness and the connectivity of a gaming mouse. And the solution for the MX Master 3 scroll wheel is the Magic Trackpad. With these two paired together with the keyboard, I have full customizability of this MacBook. The CalDigit TS4 helps with connectivity, really makes this whole setup work. The Scarlett Solo helps my Rode NT1 mic connect, and my Bayer Dynamic DT770 Pro X's help me monitor all of my audio. When I was deciding how to lay out the productivity setup, I just realized that I had it perfect. And even better now that my gaming setup is behind me, I no longer get distracted whenever I'm doing my productivity tasks. So that's really it for the desk setups. 2 super optimized places where I can do gaming and productivity at its maximum level. And again, make sure to use the code YTST to get that extra 6% off your order. The last but not least important addition to this is the lighting. Since I now have dark colored walls, lighting is really hard to come by. And what I mean by that is that light is not bouncing all across this room anymore. So the lighting options in this room are even more important. The first way I improved it was adding smart blinds to the studio. These are the dual roller shades from Graywind. These motorized beauties can be controlled right from your phone or through voice commands with an Alexa or Google Home. These specific ones are controlled through Matter, and it implements with Apple HomeKit perfectly. They're super quiet, run on rechargeable batteries that last months, and the installation is surprisingly simple. Plus they come in different sizes and styles to match any kind of decor. I opted for the dual mortar shades. The bottom layer lets the light in, while the top layer is a blackout. Perfect for those days where I need to control the lighting. And for the late night sessions, that's where my Philips Hue lights come in. Say what you want about the Hue lights, they are expensive, but in my opinion and in my own usage, they have the most stable connection out of any other smart lights out there. Also with the ecosystem of the lights that they have, they'll have everything that you'll need. Because of the Hue bridge, the connectivity and the responsiveness is just the best. And not to mention the HomeKit connectivity with your phone is just top tier. Another lighting system that I like to use is Nanoleaf. For the gaming setup, I have these Nanoleaf black triangles. The splash of color that this adds onto the setup really makes it stand out. These lights also work from HomeKit, so it makes them really easy to use. The quality of the lights and just the overall looks is what keeps me coming back to Nanoleaf lights. These are going to be some changes and some future plans that I do have. So the biggest contention with this setup, the walls make everything really dark. Now I did plan for this and I introduced a whole bunch of new lighting that's different from the previous setup, but I didn't expect for the walls to absorb so much of my light. So I do have some plans to add some more lighting around the studio. It's just going to help accent the room even more, and I am a sucker for that soft lighting. So aside from the lighting, there's another thing I do want to change, and it is that monitor back there. On the productivity setup, I do have an ultra-wide monitor, 38 inches, but I do have my eyes on that studio display. Everyone I've talked to in the space of content creation has had glowing reviews. Now I do know I'm going to be giving up a lot of screen real estate, but that monitor is packing 5K resolution, 60 Hz, so I don't know how I feel about that. Amazing speakers and a webcam that I can use for meetings. In my opinion, it just looks to be one of the best monitors for a content creator. So let me know down in the comments below if you think I should make that change. And the last addition that I'm thinking about is adding a pegboard onto the empty space on that wall over there. I already have a couple of pegboards along the way, so that's gonna be solved really soon. So aside from those minor gripes, honestly you guys, I'm in love with this place. I've been extremely productive ever since I built it out. In the previous place, it was a rented apartment, so I wasn't able to do much. Here, I'm able to hang whatever I want, do whatever I want, and that's just, I mean, you can't put a price on that freedom. I'm gonna be releasing a studio vlog video in the future, and that's just gonna show how I turned a really dusty old bedroom into my dream studio. So you're gonna wanna subscribe and stay tuned for that. So watch this next video if you're interested in my last studio tour, or watch this video for Desk Setup 2024. Thank you for watching, you guys. This is David serving you a little side of tech, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless you guys.